Imagine walking down a London street in the middle of a downpour. Instead of staying dry, you are getting rubbish pelted at your head, and onlookers are screaming insults as you pass. Your crime? Holding an umbrella. Today, popping open a canopy when the sky opens up is an afterthought. It's a purely practical response to bad weather. But 250 years ago, this simple tool was heavily stigmatized. One stubborn man had to fight a 30-year public battle just to make walking down the street with it socially acceptable. Welcome to the Subject History. If you're new here, hit subscribe, because we specialize in finding the ridiculous, forgotten stories hiding right behind ordinary things. Let's talk about the umbrella. The items we take for granted every single day hide a past built on shattered social norms and quiet, persistent rebellions. To understand why Londoners were so angry, we have to look at the object's original blueprint. For thousands of years, across ancient Egyptian, Assyrian, and Chinese empires, parasols were engineered strictly to block the sun, not the rain. This ancient Assyrian carving shows a royal figure shaded by a large parasol. This was a privilege restricted to the top of the hierarchy. The true display of wealth was having a servant physically hold the shade over your head. It functioned as an immediate, highly visible billboard, telling everyone on the street your exact rank. For the vast majority of human history, an umbrella was an exclusionary tool designed to enforce the distance between the rulers and the ruled. Fast forward to the 1700s in Britain. Manufacturers had finally started waterproofing the canvas to protect against the frequent English rain. The arrival of a practical tool brought a strict new set of unwritten societal rules. First, it was firmly categorized as a delicate accessory. Carrying an umbrella was considered exclusively feminine behavior, and any man holding one risked immediate public ridicule for appearing effeminate. Second, there was a rigid economic trap. A man attempting to stay dry on foot was perceived to be silently confessing that he was too poor to hire a private carriage. This was the social minefield Jonas Hanway walked into. He was an English traveler and philanthropist, known for his charitable work, and he disliked ruining his suits in the rain. In the 1750s, Hanway simply stepped out into the streets of London carrying a waterproofed umbrella in broad daylight. His daily walk became a direct physical challenge to the deep-seated gender and economic anxieties of Georgian Britain. The public delivered an immediate, visceral backlash. Hanway was mocked and jeered at, largely by the hackney coachmen who drove the city's horse-drawn cabs. These drivers had a hidden economic motive. A sudden downpour meant desperate pedestrians willing to pay a premium for a ride. A man who could keep himself dry on the sidewalk directly threatened their daily income. The coachman threw insults and occasionally rubbish to deter him. Hanway possessed a remarkable capacity for absorbing public hostility, repeating his daily walk and enduring this treatment for the next 30 years. Eventually, sheer repetition wore down the novelty of his rebellion. Other men, tired of getting soaked, looked at Hanway staying perfectly dry and decided the practical benefit outweighed the temporary embarrassment. By the time Hanway died in 1786, the taboo was broken. Umbrellas were an increasingly common sight among men across London, entirely decoupled from their association with effeminacy. Undeniable utility will always defeat artificial social pressure, provided an outlier is willing to stand in the street and take the initial punishment from the crowd. As the calendar turned to the Victorian era, the umbrella completely shed its historical baggage. It inverted entirely, becoming a mandatory defining symbol of the proper English gentleman. The image of a man in a bowler hat clutching an umbrella became a cultural default, deeply entrenched in movies, cartoons, and our modern understanding of British masculinity. It is the exact same piece of canvas and wire, yet it held two diametrically opposed social reputations, separated by little more than 100 years. Think about that the next time the sky turns gray, and you casually pop open a canopy on your way to work. That's the story behind the umbrella, brought to you by the Subject History. If you like everyday objects with hidden pasts, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Drop a comment below to let us know which object we should cover next. The ordinary, unquestioned behaviors of today are often the result of someone enduring the intense ridicule of yesterday. See you in the next one.